What are the pros of living in US with your family? Of course, these are generalizations and everything depends on where exactly you're going to live, the city, and even the area. Your experience might be very different from mine. So think of this as my personal experiences and feel free to comment in the comment section below. This is Nune and Boston Area Homes. You might be interested to subscribe to my channel where I talk about US real estate trends and also about Boston. Number one is US is huge, so there's a lot of space and you will not feel like in most European countries and in Asia, you feel like everyone is in your face, kind of. You will not feel that. It's very spread out, especially if you avoid the West Coast and East Coast and go to the middle of US. There's a lot of space. There's everybody's spread out. People in US really value their privacy and their space. Number two is less gossip, because everyone values their privacy a lot and they kind of mind their own business. There's less of a gossip happening, and for me it was pretty refreshing. But if you are very close to your countries, people who came from your country and created a small community, they are very close-knit and they spend a lot of time together, well, the gossip may still happen. So I find that in US, people follow the rules more than in a lot of other countries. And I find that the rules are more strict and everybody has to follow the rule. That's kind of comforting and refreshing that the law really affects everyone. If you are applying for a job, you have to go through the same steps as everybody else. Bribing and your connections, of course, they play a role. I will be naive to think that it doesn't happen in US. But for general population, it's pretty straightforward and you have to follow the rules. Your hard work, your talent, your skill will help you get ahead and you don't need to bribe anyone. More jobs. Compared to a lot of countries, there are many job opportunities in US, and even when I'm talking to people that came from Europe, from Italy, from Germany, they say they came because they could find a job here. People who would refuse to clean other people's houses in their country will do it gladly in US, not because they don't have their circle of friends who will say, oh, you're cleaning houses, but because manual labor is not looked down at as much as in some other countries. So people feel pride in doing whatever work they need to do and they're respected for their hard work. A lot of stars starting waitressing or doing some manual labor, so you don't know who you are talking to when you're talking to a waitress. That might be the next mayor of the city or the next star. US is still where it's made. There are so many opportunities to make a business. If you are entrepreneurial, you can make businesses and become successful financially. And that kind of makes you feel optimistic and also makes you work longer hours and to work harder. In a way, US is more affordable than a lot of other countries. People who could not afford to buy a car or a house in their country come to US, and after a few years they can afford to do that. Not because it's cheaper, sometimes it's just because there are so many financing opportunities. So it feels like you can have a better quality of life in US because there are many opportunities for you to purchase things to improve your quality of life. In US, you really can travel extensively if you have the means for it. You can travel within USA, and there are so many different landscapes and so many national parks and so many beautiful things to see that you will not run out of ideas. If you are a US citizen, you have easy way to travel to many countries without a visa. That makes it very, very enjoyable not to think about, oh, I need to get a visa to travel to this country or that country, or the visa process is done very quickly and very easily. The other great thing about US is if you decided to move to US and you're thinking of where to move, you can choose your climate and your weather. There are so many different landscapes, so many different climates. If you want tropical, if you want cooler winters, come to Boston. My next pro is healthcare. Many medical breakthroughs happened in US, and the feeling is, especially if you're living in Boston, that you get access to the best doctors and the best hospitals. When you're living in US, you don't feel like an outsider because majority of the people living in US come from different countries. If not them, then their parents came from a different country. So you feel kind of at home. US has many amazing colleges and they are ranked as one of the best in the world. So if your children are growing up in US, you know that they can have the opportunity to go to the best colleges in the world. My next video is going to be about negatives, so make sure to subscribe to my channel so you can get notified when the next video comes up. Of course, it will be impossible to miss the next point, which is excellent customer service wherever you go, be it the stores, a restaurant, even the hospital. People around you will do everything they can to make you feel comfortable and to give you the best customer service ever. Another point that might seem not so important is the stores are open over the weekends and on the holidays. There are very few holidays when the stores are not open. So if you forgot to do your shopping during the week because you were busy working, remember those long hours? Then you can do your shopping during the weekend, and there are no breaks during the day. Sometimes pharmacies have maybe half an hour break, 2 to 2:30 p.m., but regularly, like the rest of the stores, they never have a break. In US, you can order absolutely everything and anything online, and it will be delivered to your doorsteps within a day or a few days maximum. I understand that's not the case in many countries, but in US, you can order absolutely anything and everything. If somebody is selling something, you can order it online, which makes life very convenient. You can be as involved as you want in everything, starting from the town to your children's school. You can make the decisions, you can be involved, and that's where democracy really shines. Hope you enjoyed this video. Watch my next video, which is about living in Boston.